Hey, everybody. So happy to be here one more time to be able to share with you. I am excited today because I have one of my greatest mentors. He just happens to be my uncle. Daniel Peters here with us in the studio today. And we're doing this recording for you live so you can get this whole conversation in real time. Conversation for us has been huge over the years. We usually like to have a nice conversation around sushi or Lupe's burritos or something like that.
Yeah.
We've had some tremendous time for me of mentorship. You know, I don't know if he was even trying. I think we were just having a good lunch, and then I just learned all kinds of great stuff. My uncle's been in in the industry of music for years in ministry, and so I've always gained and gleaned so much from him. So today, I wanted him to share one of these ideas that have sparked recently from our conversations. It's called the seventh year. And I just thought it was so key. And it was something that we really need to share with our audiences. People that are wanting to do something great for God. They want to do something great in their ministry, in their music, in their business maybe. These are lessons that are wisdom really. Things that you probably don't even have to go to or go through, if you will, if you're listening to people share with you their experiences. So, Uncle Pete, take it away and just kind of talk to us a little bit about the seventh year. What is that all about?
Well, it's great to be here, Aaron.
Thank you,
And
man.
I love sharing. And I was given a Bible study not too long ago on the seventh year blessing. And I was speaking. We were having lunch. I don't know what we were having, but food always inspires us. That's step number one. But we were talking about this lesson just called. I'll just give them an idea what it was about the seventh year. And it's an awesome concept. It's an awesome thing because seven is blessed by God, and you kind of stop and think, well, how is that? And we know God created the heavens and the earth, and on the
Right.
seventh day, He rested and looked and said it was good.
Right.
Well, that was the beginning of the 7 year law. It's called septimal law, which just means seven in Latin. And
Sounds better in Latin, huh?
yeah,
Acceptable.
yeah. So seven is significant in the period of birth, growth, fruitage, and decline. So within 7 years, you should birth an idea. You should grow that idea. You should show fruit of that idea, and maybe then. The decline is not negative. It just means that it's a place to stop and to look and to see, is this idea working? Am I doing good on the keyboards? Am I playing the guitar like I want to? Am I a worship leader like I want to? Is this really what God wants me to do? God gives us this awesome pattern to follow, or to at least to guide us and to look at and say,
Right.
okay, maybe it's time to change something.
Right. Or this is where I'm at.
Exactly.
In this timeline, if you will.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, for those of us who have been in music for a long time, and who are starting, there's discouragements that come. Sometimes we look and we say, I'm not learning fast enough.
Right.
The church needs me now, and there's just no way of speeding up certain things. So we look.
Wait a second. Hold on. I gotta. He said there's no way of speeding up certain things. So certain processes they have to take certain time, right?
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. That was good.
No. Yeah, and this is why we have the septimal law of seven, where we're able to stop and look. In Genesis 2:1, if I could read this for you, it says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day." I love that part.
Blessed the seventh
And
day.
sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. So he gives us this pattern to follow, which means that, let's say I'm going to start, I have a desire to be a worship leader. I have a desire. I remember Aaron at 16 years old was looking and watching and saying, okay, my uncles are doing this and we're doing that. I didn't realize he was going to do what he's doing now, but there was a birthing of something in his heart. And that was the beginning of a process. So in septimal law, there's the birth, there's growth, there's fruitage where you bear fruit, and there's decline, which just means I'm going to stop, I'm going to analyze, is this going to be what I want to do? And if it is, you just keep moving forward and you keep doing what you're doing. If not, you can stop and analyze and say, okay, I'm going to make this better. Or you can stop and say, okay, maybe this wasn't for me.
Right.
But that's the beauty of 7, of the blessing that God has.
I think this is so key, Uncle Pete, because there's these 4 periods that you mentioned in the 7th-year cycle. It's the period of birth, which is like you were saying, the idea, or somebody gets that great idea. You know what? I was watching my uncle, and this did happen to me. I was watching them. I would like to do something like that. So you get this birthing idea, right? Yeah. And then there's a second thing, which is the growth period, which is the time of learning and sowing into your gift. Right. Then the fruitage, and you were mentioning this, where you enjoy the fruit of your labor, and then finally the decline. And I think it's so key to see all these different parts, these 4 different parts, as a part of that process. Because I think if we don't, for instance, if we don't have the growth part, if you will, where we don't learn and sow, we're never going to get to the part where we enjoy the fruitage. You know what I mean? Right. And there is a lot of people, and I know I have at times too, become, well, you remember this greater than anybody. I wanted to be the greatest keyboardist. And I remember my uncle telling me, hey man, like just play the piano. Like you don't have to do a jazz solo on every single record.
Listen to Glory and Honor 1.
Yeah, if you want to see how he used to
it's him.
And I think the thing is that I wanted to get all the way already to fruitage.
Right.
I wanted to see the fruit of my labor, and I figured the faster I played, the quicker I got there. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the truth is, I like what you're saying. You have to recognize that the septimal law means that there's a pattern.
Yes, sir.
There's a time, or there's a process, if you will, that you have to follow. That's incredible, man.
Yeah, the process is, all of us have ideas. I wake up with more ideas than I can even keep track of. I dream of ideas. And not every one of those ideas is the one that I should work on. But God gives us this awesome pattern to follow. Well, look at the idea. Sit down and talk to somebody. See if this is what you want to do. You're birthing something. If that idea stays in your heart and grows, then you start to put time and growth, and you start to water, and you start to put time into.
So, are you saying that it's possible that you can be excited about something, an idea, and it may not necessarily be for you?
Oh, definitely.
Because if you're saying that we have to look at it, you know what I mean? Like, it's possible that this lesson is going to save us time, because, for instance, there's things that I had ideas about that I was excited about. You know what I mean? Things that got me excited, but it wasn't necessarily what I was supposed to do.
Right.
And I needed to have that time of decline. And I like what you called it. You said decline is an opportunity for you to reevaluate.
Exactly.
To see, is this working for me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that doesn't mean that you're overly harsh on yourself.
Right.
And you say, oh, I didn't reach 1 million people, so forget it. I'm no good. No, you just got to reevaluate what worked for you and what didn't work for you. And what didn't work for you, get rid of that. Yeah. And what worked for you, you keep on ingesting more of that.
Yeah, decline is it's actually a blessing in disguise, because it sounds negative, like I said earlier, but it's actually just a stopping point to analyze. Man, am I doing? There's a song by the Winans, an old song. It's called "Are We Doing Your Will? If not, I'll just keep still." That's what the lyrics say. That
sounds like a word right there.
It's such a beautiful point, because I want to stop and I want to say, Lord, is this what you want me to do? I want to be a blessing. Our hearts, most of us have ideas to help the church, help ministry, to sing, to worship. Most of us that are on now, that's what our desire is. But there is a process of growth that happens. Are we willing to do the growth process? Because the fruitage from, let's say, a lot of see minstrel Aaron at a high level, writing songs, singing, and there was a portion of birthing and growth that came with that everyone goes through, and it's a process that I think everyone out there must look at and understand, and not just say, okay, I want to be Minister Aaron Barbosa tomorrow.
Uncle Pete, do you remember that one time in the Hope Project? It was towards the end of the record. I came to you and I was like, I just can't finish this record anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
And I honestly think that was a part of the birthing of my ministry.
Yeah.
But it was a tough time.
Yeah.
It was a tough time. And mothers, we don't understand this as well. We get to see from the driver or the passenger seat as husbands, but mothers that understand birthing understand that when you're talking about birthing, it sounds fun.
Right.
The initial concept sounds really great. Oh, let's have babies. It's great. But when the mother is actually going through that time of travail,
Right.
where she is birthing that baby, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing joking. It's serious business because it's painful.
Yeah.
And I want to say, and I want to just kind of interject. Sure. I know you remember that time.
Yeah.
When I was going through that time at the Hope Project, I remember I couldn't finish it. If my Uncle Pete wasn't there to finish that record, I mean, I don't know if you remember, it was up there upstairs.
Yeah.
You were finishing all the singing sessions, all the mixing. We had to fix bass. I mean, I literally clocked out at the end of that record.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if you remember, if you want to talk about that.
No, I definitely remember that time, and it actually falls right into what we're talking about, because there was a time where you had learned and the growth process and the fruitage was there, but you got to the last portion, which was the decline, where you got to stop and analyze, Lord, just like I said in that record, am I doing your will? Is this what you want me to? It's painful because I'm writing about things that are deep in my emotion. And sometimes we get to that stage where we're leading worship, and sometimes you can't lead because God is so real in there, and he's coming through you, and you're like, oh my God, can I get up there this Sunday?
Wow.
That's going to happen when we decide to take on this ministry. Music ministry is a lot deeper than just
going up to sing really quick.
Yes, I want to sing at the greatest conventions ever, and I want to go here. That's people usually accomplish that after they've gone through some tough times in music. It just doesn't happen. You just wake up and say, okay, I'm on the greatest stage ever. No. And
sir.
They had to go through this septimal process. They had to go through God's law of 7 to get to that place where they can stand up firm and they can lead God's people into worship. And
there's substance behind it.
Oh my
when
gosh,
they sing something, when you've been through something.
Oh yeah.
There's a certain type of conviction on the inside.
Oh yeah.
When you sing something that you've been through is different than when you just sing something that the brother shows you the words and the lyrics and stuff like that.
I'm sure you can say after that Hope Project, after we got it done,
I needed hope after that.
Yes. You were able to stop and say, God, this is what I want to do. Thank you for carrying me through this process. I'm going to keep doing the same thing, and I'm going to move forward. So you went through your process, and then you were able to take it, analyze it, use it, and move forward to where you are now. So there is a process, and God has blessed us with this law of 7, and so it's amazing.
Can I just interject something as we kind of come to an end of this time? Right now, in this moment, me and my wife, my family, we're going through a process now. So I've actually gotten to see this septimal law, this pattern, if you will, these 7 years. I've actually got to see this, and the longer you live, the more of these you'll be able to see.
Yes, sir.
And I've been able to see the fruit. I've been able to see the decline, and now I believe that I'm on the beginning of it again.
Yeah.
Now something's birthing again, but it's painful.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I'm having new revelation now. Yeah. I'm having new ministry now that I've never had before, but it's also coming with that pain of doing something new again.
Yes, sir.
And I really think that this is so important that you recognize this, because if you look at life as just one big linear movement of struggle and pain, and there might be some good stuff here and there, I think you're going to miss out on the wisdom that you need, because wisdom turns process into something that is productive. Yeah. Wisdom turns process into a product. Yes. If there's a process and you have no idea what's happening, then you don't have no product to come out with. You just think, oh, it just happened, just kind of arbitrarily, just kind of happened. But what we're showing you here today, what my Uncle Pete is showing you today, and I call him Uncle Pete affectionately, what is showing us here today is that if you can kind of recognize where you're at in this time of birthing, growth, fruitage, or decline, this is going to help you. And for me, this is helping me so much today, because as I enter a new phase in my own life personally, it's beginning with pain. Yes. Again. Right. And I can expect that now I'm going to go into this new level, but you're not going to go into a new level without a new pain. Yeah. Without some struggle. And so I think this is fantastic. It works on so many levels. I don't know if you have anything else you want to just
Yeah, no.
kind of share with us before we close.
Sure. In closing, I just want to encourage everyone out there. Don't be discouraged with the process. The process is what everyone, any person, anyone, any preacher, anyone that has significant ministry has gone through a process.
My God.
And it, to me now, understanding this makes me understand that scripture. Don't get weary in well doing, for in what? Due season, you're going to reap a harvest of blessing. Everything has a cost to it. The birthing process, the growth, the fruitage, and decline. God will bless you in your 7th year. I'm expecting a 7-year blessing from prior.
Come on.
So, Lord, I planted a seed 7 years ago.
Right.
I've watered it,
Right.
and now I'm about to see some blessings. So
My
I'm
God.
so excited. I'm so excited for you, all of you that are here.
Yes.
And we ask God to continue blessing. And
Yes.
thank you for allowing me to join you this afternoon.
Uncle Pete, this was fantastic. Now we're going to go do what we usually do to get more wisdom. We're going to go have some lunch.
Yes.
Guys, we hope you guys have a great week. May this bless you. Watch it over and over if you have to.
Sure.
And until you get into your spirit to the point where you're like, I get this. I got this. And do yourself a favor and find yourself a mentor in your life that you can take them out to lunch.
Yes.
And that you can glean something from them. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun, but it's great because you're going to learn so much. Guys, we love you. We hope you have a great time. Uncle Pete, thanks again for coming by.
You're welcome.
We got to do this
Bless you.
again soon.
Yes,
So
sir.
let us know how you guys enjoyed this. Maybe post some questions, and we'll do our best. You can see down there at minstrelstv.com. You can find us, but then you can also email my uncle danielpetermusic at gmail.com. Again, his email is danielpetermusic. It's there at the bottom of the screen here at gmail.com. Follow him on Facebook, on Twitter, and all kinds of other stuff that he's on. I think he's even doing Periscope and different stuff. He's way ahead of me, man. I got to catch up on that stuff. Guys, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.